Good afternoon, everyone. This is Will Kohler, and I'm just going to walk you through the basic steps to conducting a literature review. So the purpose of this lecture is fourfold. Understanding the difference between a basic literature review and an advanced literature review. It's important to understand what you might be asked to do. Sorry about that. It's important to understand what you might be asked to do by your faculty advisor if you're a GA, or your professor if you're taking class and asked to do a literature review. Developing a thesis statement. Understanding how to do this is an important aspect that we'll discuss a little bit today. And finally, learning the 6 steps to conducting a literature review. So the first question is, what is the difference between a basic literature review versus an advanced literature review? A basic literature review is a written document. It develops a case to establish a thesis. This review synthesizes the current knowledge that's out there pertaining to this research question that you've developed. An advanced literature review, on the other hand, is a literature review that asks a research question, has a research project attached to it, and it identifies the gaps in the literature that are currently there and seeks to answer one of those questions left by the gaps in the literature. So here we have kind of a flow chart. In a basic literature review, we want to talk about a research interest. Oftentimes you will either be given this by your professor, or you will be given a research interest in a research topic by your faculty advisor if you're a graduate assistant. So the research interest identifies a research topic. And then your research topic specifies and frames the literature review that you'll be conducting. And then from the literature review, you'll discover what's out there, and it will advocate or point the way to your research thesis. And then finally, your research thesis answers the research question, which should tie directly into your research interest. In an advanced literature review, you have these same first steps: research interest, identifying a research topic, specifying and framing a literature review that you conduct, and then that discovers and advocates for your research thesis. At this point, however, you will identify gaps in the literature, and your research thesis will be set out to fill one of those gaps by conducting a research project. And then you'll take those research project findings and apply those to your research thesis in order to answer your research question. So those are the 2 main differences. Choosing and refining a topic. A research area refined by interest, not just an interest, but also an academic discipline, and an understanding of the relevant key works and core concepts of that area of interest and academic discipline. So a lot of times you will be given this general topic area by your faculty advisor or your professor. What's important for you to know in this is to ask questions to clarify and narrow focus. So, for example, in my trauma class, I ask individuals to identify an area of social work practice. So the academic discipline would be social work, but a specific area of practice may be child welfare. And then your interest, I might give you that you need to identify the current practices in trauma-informed care in child welfare. And so that would be your area of interest. And then you would seek to understand the relevant key works and core concepts in trauma-informed care and child welfare practice. So you need to ask those questions and narrow down your topic from a general area of interest. The thesis statement is then a conclusion based on a case developed by using existing knowledge through your research and your literature review, sound evidence, and a reasoned argument. So your thesis statement would kind of summarize and point a direction as a result of your literature review. Even if assigned a topic by your faculty advisor or your professor, you will need to have a thesis statement of your own, and that comes after you've conducted the literature review. So what are the 6 steps to conducting a literature review? Regardless of your advanced literature review or doing a basic literature review, you'll need to select a topic. Then you'll have to search the literature, develop the argument based out of the literature. Then you'll go back to the literature and survey what the literature has to say supporting or negating your argument. Then you will critique the literature. So the literature that's provided is often obvious as to what it's saying regarding your argument. So you'll have to critique whether it's of value to you or not. And then finally, you'll write the literature review. So just to recap, I have a couple of questions. Can you write a definition of a literature review? Decide which type of literature review you will need, a basic or an advanced literature review? Describe the process of refining a topic for a literature review. Can you do that? And I think there's a couple more. Develop a thesis statement. Are you able to do that? Or tell us how you can do that from this lecture. And then finally, can you list the 6 steps to conducting a literature review? All right, thank you very much.